Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Legacy of the Rimlen, a more political shenanigans edition as is our wont. Before we get into what happened last time and all of that stuff though, as usual, let's have our players introduce themselves and their characters. I've rolled dice in the background. The dice say that we should start with the titular prince from last time's episode, Show&Tell. Could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, hi, I'm Show&Tell, and I'll be playing as Anghel, who's a mute peasant boy, and also officially Prince Charming. Woo!
Yay! I don't know if you heard me clapping. I'm clapping.
I did.
Congratulations, I guess. This is Show&Tell. By the way, we didn't like. This is not something that you have to do, obviously, but maybe it can be an option to like maybe change one of your aspects to reflect that. Maybe.
Oh, and what way do you mean? Like?
Nothing like. Well, basically, aspects are short descriptors of who the character is.
Oh, right. Okay. I think I got confused with the other thing.
The stunts.
Okay.
I mean the aspects are like words that you use to invoke stuff. Maybe it can be a thing. I guess it depends on how much of Anghel's character is represented by the fact that he's Prince Charming. Maybe the other stuff is more important. I leave it entirely up to you. You don't have to do that, of course.
No, but it's definitely a good. Like, I'll think about it. I didn't even consider that, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, it came to my mind like just now, so that's why I'm mentioning it now. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Show&Tell. Next, we would have the person who was almost always thirsty, but actually isn't, Ashen. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, that's me. I'm Ash, and I'm playing as Illona, the noble woman who is sneaky.
Yes, that she is. The one who's shown the most, I guess, political tact in the last few episodes.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much, Ashen. And next, we would have Dely. Dely, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Dely, and I'm playing as Muninn. Forgot their name for a minute. They are a traveling scholar from Brightland, and currently nothing too crazy happening to them at the moment, I don't think.
Except getting smacked out of nowhere with a plate.
Yes, that's true, actually.
I mean, having memory losses or something like that is like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you do. Thank you very, very much, Dely. So, sorry. Last time, after you guys met Always Thirsty, and talked among yourselves a little bit, you decided to return to talking with Always Thirsty. Always Thirsty challenged Anghel to a drinking contest, and Anghel, recognizing that this is how Prince Charming recruited Always Thirsty in the stories, accepted. And the dice decided that Anghel won that contest handily, like one of the biggest stomps I've ever seen in Fate in general. And at the end of the contest, Anghel and Always Thirsty locked eyes with each other, leaned in closer to each other, and Always Thirsty realized that Anghel was Prince Charming, and Anghel realized what was going on. And all the while this was happening, after one of you made like an offhand comment about like draining the rivers to like kill the wolf or something like that, Rebob wasn't able to like hide that and like did a double take, which was the moment you guys discovered that even though the boyar said, oh yeah, he doesn't speak your language, he actually does, and he was listening all along, and I have like a whole list of things that he's eavesdropped on from you guys. Muninn later confronted Rebob about it, And the confrontation was basically Muninn tricking Rimlen into revealing that he knows, and then Rimlen asking, is this going to be a problem? Muninn saying, well, I don't know, is this going to be a problem? Rimlen saying, well, I don't know, is this going to be a problem? And that's where the confrontation ended, with it not being a problem until now, I guess. But after that, with always thirsty in tow, you guys went to meet with the boyar Gregory Dukas, who said, come over to my place in the afternoon because my cousin will be there, and his cousin is richer than him, and you can ask her for help and all that good stuff. You went in, you met the cousin, a lady named Ophelia Zarhos. Currently, just for like general context of the setting, you are in Gregory's meeting room. All of you are sitting in your fancy oriental, even though I hate that term, couches. Rimlen is standing behind the boyar Gregory, and you all were talking at this to like put it simply. Your, I guess, first impression of Ophelia was that she's a bit undiplomatic and a bit of an airhead, but above board show and tell in like last episode's discussion like speculated, oh, maybe she's hiding something. So who knows at this point. Feel free to come to your own conclusions. Last we left off was you guys like basically asking, so are you gonna help us? And like Ophelia like leaning into the camera and saying, I don't know, am I going to help you? And as that was like how we cliffhangered last episode, as we go into this episode. So I guess my question for everyone, well, before we get into the actual stuff, just as a bit of a warm-up, what are everyone's... one other little thing about a recap. During the discussions, Muninn got hit with a flying plate. Anghel understood that this was the witch's reminder that, hey, you have debts to pay. Ophelia said, basically diffused the situation by implying that this was a prank by Gregory. Either way. My question for everyone is, as a sort of warm-up, what's going through everyone's mind at the moment, and I guess what's everyone's impressions of Ophelia? Just as a reminder, she called Anghel's language backwards and savage.
Ooh, not good.
She seems kind of, I don't know, not so easy to have to deal with, but hopefully pretty, what's it called in English? That she gives a lot of money to
Generous?
us specifically. Yes, that's the word. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think Muninn might be generally thinking the same thing. I think they honestly might be underestimating like how like the airheaded persona that she's putting on. I think Muninn is a little bit arrogant, so they would probably actually be taking that at face value. Especially considering like they think like, oh well, they have like a higher opinion of like
themselves,
people
or
of themselves, yeah, but also
sorry.
No, you're totally right. Like of themselves, but also like of other people that may be like educated. I don't know if that's the right. But yeah, I think Muninn may be like in for a shock if she does turn out to be a little bit more of a I don't know what the word is, like striking viper. I'm not sure.
You were also bullshitting her that Anghel is the prince of some faraway land called Charm.
Yes,
and they
exactly.
Where they speak with hand gestures.
Yeah, Munin's like, if this woman will believe that, she can't be that smart.
Burn.
To be fair, last time, I think not the last sentence, but like close to the last sentences were Gregory saying, I think they're bullshitting you, cousin. And she was saying, well, I don't think they would bullshit someone they need help from, would they?
Exactly that.
Oh.
Those like that's kind of the sentence that Anghel. I mean, at first it was kind of like, bullshitting her, really. And then when she said that, although did he were they talking in Rima at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when she said that, he was definitely like, was a little taken aback, like he suddenly realized that, oh, maybe I should be more careful around her. Like, even if it doesn't mean too much, like she's at least aware enough of her own importance that we can't really cross that too much if you want her help.
Noted. Next, I have a question for everyone as to how you would like to proceed, I guess in terms of game mechanics, but it would also impact the story itself. Basically, the choice is you can either negotiate more or less with her, like I give you something, you give me something, you guys reach a compromise, and I guess neither of you walks away fully happy, but at least you're not unhappy, I guess. Or we turn this into a quote-unquote battle where she will attack you, you'll attack her. Well, not physically, but you know what I mean. And whomever wins gets to extract concessions from the other.
I think it would be interesting to just negotiate without having the battle part, but also battles are fun, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, battles, like a battle will make it more, I guess, more exciting, I guess. But it's also a bigger risk. Like if we lose, we're done.
Can a battle also end halfway through-ish?
Only if outside circumstances happen, like, I don't know, the wolf jumps in on the manor and kills everyone, for instance.
Oh, okay.
Or if one party concedes, but a concession is still a loss, just not as big of a loss.
Alright. But we can also use just during negotiating our aspects and stunts and stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Guys, I have a plan.
Okay. Let's do it.
In that case, it might.
I thought you were gonna share with the class.
Okay, I can do that.
My plan is to not tell you my plan.
Yes. Trust me, guys, I have a plan. It's fine. No, but I really wanted to see if I could just use my stunt and take money.
Let me check the wording on your stunt.
You're gonna
Must have been
insta-kill
the
them
win.
and take their money.
No, not that one. The must have been the win one. I can.
After performing an illegal okay. My answer isn't no necessarily, but I'd like to know the specifics, because it has to follow an illegal or immoral act.
Yeah, I would just like to go and grab all her money and then go sit down again with all of her money. And nothing happened.
I don't think she's carrying it all with her, is she?
Maybe we can just talk her into yeah, we're willing to do this, but first you gotta show us the money. And then she shows the money and then it's gone. Wow, what happened?
Where did we go?
Two parts to that, because I think you may be overestimating your stunt a little.
Oh.
You cannot certainly attempt it. The stunt says that if you succeed, you get away with it. The stunt does not say that you will automatically succeed. So of course you're perfectly in your right to try, and if you succeed, you're scot-free. No one will ever blame you. You can shift the blame to whomever. The world's your oyster. But
what does it mean to succeed? By a dice roll?
Probably. Almost certainly,
Okay.
actually.
if you guys are willing to assist me on that, I think it's a solid bet.
It's definitely an interesting way of going about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Should we do that maybe after negotiating everything else, or I can't remember what else we'd need from her particularly.
Mainly money, but again, she's a very politically important person, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we need to. Well, I don't know, honestly. Like, it's been so long since we talked about, like, our eventual goal is going to the prince, and it's been so long since we talked about that, though.
Yeah, we're sidetracked easily.
That's for sure.
I guess as a sort of recap on that front, your goal was to talk to the prince, because the prince can then talk to the caramel authorities about getting Anghel's sister released. You at one point, if you remember, in the previous city of By the Sands, you met with a guy named Miron, who was also a boyar, lesser ranking one, but still. Miron gave you guys a letter of recommendation of, these guys are good.
But Joseph had, right?
Yep, Joseph had, and Joseph went on ahead. You don't know where Joseph is.
Yeah, exactly. We can count on that. I don't know.
Also true. There's also the issue that if someone finds out that Miron is dead, that letter won't mean shit. Fortunately, the rider they sent to inform everyone, hey, Miron is dead, got killed by an ogre, but that does not mean the information will stay concealed forever.
That makes sense.
That was just too funny how you just could have said it matter of factly, I got killed by an ogre.
I mean, yeah, it is what happened. Killed an Eden.
I think it might be a good idea to get. I'm not sure if a letter of recommendation from this person
I will
would
say,
be.
I will say this is information that you guys know, so I'm fine with putting the puzzle pieces in front of you, I guess, and arranging them. Miron he was low to mid-ranking boyar, and he was part of a faction that's not very friendly with a prince. You are in front of the prison's cousins. Distant cousins, but still.
Okay. It would probably definitely be a good idea in that case.
Yeah, to ask for a recommendation letter again.
Another thing I was thinking, it would be cool to I can't remember. I don't have my notes on me, so I can't remember the name of the people that took the orb away. But it might be.
That was also Zarhos, right?
That was Basil and some other dude. I don't know.
Basil is the younger fellow. The was it 9th or 10th, whatever, the 9th or the 10th son of the older gentleman. I don't think you know the older gentleman's name other than he's Zarhos.
Yeah,
but I remember his face. That's hard to forget.
I mean, it's also on screen.
Right.
It might be cool to see if, maybe if as payment for dealing with the wolf, could you, I don't know, send someone to tell the authorities of whatever town they could be in to, if they find them in a town, tell the authorities, hey, stop these people, they've stolen something, zhuzh it up a little bit.
I guess let's hypothetically say that thought passes through Muninn's head. May get, I guess, a clever from Muninn to see hypothetically if that plan could work.
Yes. Yeah, cool. Sorry, please bear with me.
No worries. Oh yeah, I see that you're logged into the game.
Okay, I got a 4.
Okay, also, do reminder for everyone, if you roll dice, do let everyone know out loud, because sometimes the viewers won't be able to see. With a 4, you know that there's no central police force or really big authority in like Rima towns and villages. You probably best case scenario what you could do is ask the lady to like send someone ahead of, hey, stop these people, they're criminals. But they won't be able to like, hypothetically, those guards in whatever village or town, they wouldn't be able to like hold these two individuals for long because they don't have evidence. They're also very high-ranking people that they can't just arrest willy-nilly. At most they'd probably be able to like delay them for a couple hours.
That's still useful, I think. I think Muninn would definitely negotiate for that, but obviously we'll get to that when we start.
Sure.
Do we even have a clue like where they are? Like where? I mean, they were headed for the prince, right?
Yeah. They were headed for the prince or the capital. They went like this way, like they followed this road. The most direct route from this place where you're at to the capital would be following the road to the northwest, so upper right. That's probably your safest bet, but obviously you can't be 100% sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you for that, by the way.
Also, are we like negotiating for like? Does she care about the wolf? Like,
you don't know.
Does she live here? Okay.
She lives here, but you don't know if she cares.
Okay.
We should figure out what she cares about. We should really
yes,
figure out this woman and then psychologically just attack the weak points, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Sure.
I guess then I'd go back to my question of, do we turn this into combat or will this be a negotiation, give and take?
I think it might be a good idea to start it off as a negotiation. Could we evolve it into a combat?
Yeah, we could always kind of turn it into a battle if we feel like.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely can. Not the other way around. You can't.
Not the other way. Yeah.
You can't de-escalate, but you can escalate. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I like that.
So I think I don't remember the exact words we cliffhangered on, even though I mentioned them earlier, 10 minutes ago. But basically, I think she said,
"Will I help them?" or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Will I help them? Something like that. As she leaned in and clasped her palms. I guess she would say, I suppose it would depend on what they need. I'm not exactly in the habit of helping beggars, you know that, cousin. Gregory sighs at her lack of tact. That's a tongue twister.
Lack of tact.
Say that 5 times fast.
Lactating.
Lactating. Okay.
Okay.
She looks at you, trying to gauge your responses.
Mm.
I mean, I think we should put her straight about being beggars. It's not like we're just asking her for help with nothing in return.
Yeah, exactly. In that case, Muninn would say
Is she looking up to Anghel because she asked if he was a prince or something, or is she not?
She asked, the prince conversation happened a little, before, couple minutes before, so I don't think she'd be looking at Anghel specifically. I think she's, looking at each of you, individually,
Okay.
couple seconds on everyone.
Okay.
Okay. I think Muninn would look to Anghel and Illona to see if they have any discerning facial expressions, to see if they can Muninn gauge what they're thinking by just looking at them.
If you guys want, since you all are players, you're free to like disclose to each other, oh yeah, Angel's feeling this or whatever. If you want to be like more flavorful, and this is completely optional, if you want, you can roll Muninn's careful versus Anghel and Illona's sneakies. But this is completely optional. Since
I also don't feel it. Sorry, I just don't feel it benefits us here. Like, I mean,
I guess it would make sense to roll if you two were trying to
hide something.
Yeah, put on a stone face for the boyar sister, but like
cousin.
Or cousin, sorry, not sister. If you were trying to hide something from the cousin, it would make sense for me to roll.
I think Illona would just like try to convey. Like, if you want to do the role playing, that's fine. But she's like, she just want to convince the Lady Sorrows, I guess. She's not pissed or anything, just determined.
Okay, that makes sense. How about Anghel?
I think Anghel's maybe even signing, like, not beggars or something. I think it's...
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Out of that.
Cool, perfect.
So I don't think a roll is acquired then. Well, it never was, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, I think Muninn would like clear their throat, like, and pipe up and say, as you can see, we're not beggars. My associates and I are very well trained and experienced people, but we're here today, as you may know, because we have a situation on our hands that we.
Would you tell me more about yourselves? She interrupts you.
Right.
I know that you're a prince, and clearly it shows. You can tell she's being a little sarcastic regarding Anghel. But what about you? Looking at Muninn.
Well, I'm known. Sorry, 1 second. I'm known as many things, of course. I travel the roads. I've been traveling the roads for a while, in fact.
Well, where do you hail from? What's your typical occupation?
Well, I hail from the east. I'm not sure if
above board, it's the west. You come from the west, not the east. But feel free to lie if you want.
Sorry, I meant. Sorry, I wasn't meant to lie in that. I like above board. I got confused. Eastlanders, west. You know. But so Muninn would say, "Oh, I hail from the west." But and pardon the phrasing. I don't mean to be rude, but I mean, I'm not sure if you've heard of where I'm from. So I would just leave it at that.
Oh, I'm a noblewoman. Of course, I've heard. Care to enlighten me?
Well, it's Muninn would like sit there and think for a minute. Muninn would probably like ponder for a minute to lie or not, and then I think Muninn eventually would just like be honest and say like, "Well, I'm from Brightland, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been home."
Are you an Eastlander spy, pray tell? She gives you a wink, like a playful one.
No, that's not my field. I'm simply in the although like a spy, I am in the field of gaining knowledge. That is my occupation, I guess you could say.
Or like a scholar. Are you perchance a university student?
Yes. you got me.
I've met some travelers like you before. Well, before the war started. I think they might still be around in this country. Oh, either way, it's pleasant to meet you. May I have your name?
It's Muninn.
Well, you already know mine. She smiles. What about you? Looks at Illona.
Just like Muninn, I've traveled a lot and also experienced with combat. We have together, all three of us, fought some beasts much bigger than us, so I guess that's what we do best, since we're here also for the wolf.
I've never heard someone speak with your accent before. May I ask where you're from?
Far away from here.
I can tell, but enlighten me.
It's south from here. Illona would just say some direction.
Oh, don't tell me you're from the same country as my cousin's bodyguard. But bored you're not.
Nearby, but not the same, no.
I see. Well, cousin, she looks at Gregory, who was like watching the proceedings, not really saying much. She'll say, since we're about to discuss business and you know how private that can be, do you mind giving us the room? And he looks a little bit surprised and says, but this is my house. And she says, did I stutter, cousin? He like pauses for a couple seconds, says, at least let Rebob stay. He can't understand what you all are talking about anyway, and just in case you might need
like
you might need a
Illona would
bodyguard.
cough. Illona would like cough when he said he can't understand, like even give the Lady Sarhos a look.
So you're trying to like tell her that he actually can understand.
Yeah, but like not too obviously, just like that's a signal.
I guess can I get a sneaky and I'll roll the lady's careful and Gregory's careful?
Sure. Oh fuck.
Gregory.
I might use some fate points to that. I might do. Oh gosh.
The 6 is Gregory, the 8 is the lady.
Wow, she's clever.
Careful in this case.
Careful, she's very careful. I think a better bet would be to re-roll in that case, but that's still pretty high for me as well, like reaching an 8. Is that even possible?
I think what has to happen for like your
You
intended...
want her to?
Yeah, since you want to inform her.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think what has to happen is
Like
you have
need
to...
a 7?
Yeah, you need like a 7 or above, I think.
Okay. So either I spend 2 fate points or I reroll. I guess I
Well,
reroll.
3, because...
Oh yeah. Tyro will come. Okay. I use.
Oh, you're actually doing it. Okay.
Huh?
I'm slightly surprised you're actually doing it. Carry on.
I guess otherwise he would know, right?
Yes.
But maybe that's not too bad.
You would have to. All I'm saying is you'd have to get a really lucky roll.
I felt like it could be possible. Okay, I guess I don't. I save.
You cough out loud, and because you got a lousy roll, not being sneaky at all, maybe you like you like do the thing where like you cough and say, he knows. Not being subtle at all.
Nice.
They both turn to you. She smiles at you and says, well, I appreciate the courtesy, dear. And she turns to Gregory. Gregory says nothing, just stays mute. And she seems to like ponder for a moment and says, as usual, you're nosy when you really, really ought not to be, cousin. But I can see that these ruffians might get rough if things don't go their way, so I'll allow your little friend to stay. On the condition that if things go well, how about you transfer him to my employ instead? But the Gregory like stutters, but I found him. I hired him, and I'll compensate you, of course. I mean, we are family. Family takes care of each other. Gregory, after a couple long seconds, sighs, looks at Rebob. Rebob shrugs, and then gets up and slowly leaves the room. You can tell who's the more important one in this family relationship.
Gregory.
Yeah. She was holding back. Oh, I feel like, or like betraying herself as like, I don't know, less than she was. I think.
And as I guess Anghel thinks that, she turns back to the three of you after Gregory's left. Rebob would like position himself behind her as her new bodyguard, so to say. She turns to you, her smile fades, and she says, I guess we should dispense with the bullshit, shouldn't we?
Yeah, sure.
I knew it.
I have some questions for you, Miss Illona.
Mr. Illona. I like it.
Sorry. Above board, I was thinking of addressing Muninn first, but then I got stuck because says then I think she'd skip those pronouns entirely and say Illona. You didn't mention your name before, Illona. Muninn and Anghel. Am I correct?
Oh shit! She knows our names.
Yeah. Illona would just nod and like be pretty stone face.
Muninn would ask. Muninn would like give her a look, like to ask, like not like how do you know, but like Muninn would give her a look, like what do you mean in that sense.
I'm not entirely sure, like, is Muninn trying to, like, pretend, oh, what are those names? I don't know those names. Or what's his intention?
I think...
After they said their name is Muninn.
I think Muninn would, like... This may be a little bit too nuanced for a facial expression. Muninn would try and, like, give her a look to say, like, what makes you think those are our names, kind of thing.
But you just said it the past one.
Yeah, but like, obviously she knows Muninn's name, but like, Anghel and Illona know, right? Or not?
I think I said my name too.
Illona has not. Not to
Okay.
her. Not to her.
Has Anghel said?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So Muninn,
okay, yeah.
Muninn would do that then.
What are Illona and Anghel's expressions, I guess? Because her response will be based on that.
Pretty non-telling, but also like an openness, you know? Like she wants to know what she's getting at, and like obviously she knows about that we wanted, but like spill the beans. What do you want?
So maybe like a hint of impatience, I guess.
Not really, but just like she's intrigued.
Okay. And Anghel?
And Anghel, I like, my first thought was that he would just narrow his eyes, kind of, you know, kind of just stare at her, I guess.
Then after a pause, she would say, you want my help, and I want some help and information from you.
Okay, seems fair enough.
So I guess
okay.
Guests first. What do you want from me?
Illona would like look to Muninn and Anghel and like say, well, we would need some financial support with this.
She rolls her eyes, of course.
It always comes back to the coin, but
Yes.
as in Muninn would say that. But then Muninn would continue.
Go ahead.
So-
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. Muninn would continue and say, but of course, this isn't just to be lining our pockets, this would be well spent in our efforts.
Oh, and we wanted like the letter of recommendation as well. I say up like out of character, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe we should lay that
Uh,
on later, or is it good to like pull all our cards at once? I don't know.
For context, she has like a very are you freaking kidding me expression, like very unimpressed.
From the money or
Okay.
from the letter?
I mean, you haven't mentioned the letter.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned.
So, yeah, from the money.
I'm thinking maybe Anghel kind of signs like to them mostly, like she doesn't understand. Hopefully, that like I don't think she cares about the wolf. Like it wasn't obvious already, but
Yeah.
I think she has something else in mind. So maybe we need to keep our, our cards close to the chest until we know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. So
In
then-
that case, I think Illona would say, yeah, how about you? What is it you want?
Well, I was already under the impression that you are particularly well off, so your explanation does not stand.
She's saying that to Illona in particular, or
I guess because Ilona's the one who said that, but she's referring to all of you. Oh, she's not addressing, I guess, the fact that Ilona's a noble woman, if that's what you're thinking.
yeah, I was like wondering. So she's addressing the gold coins, or just the fact that
I don't know.
We're not that well off, right? I had like
well,
what?
I do know, but I'm not saying.
Okay. What did you
Muninn.
ask?
She said, like, you guys basically said, well, we need money and we may need other help. And she says, I was already under the impression that you all are well off.
Okay.
I think Muninn would ask, care to explain?
You ask vague demands of me, and now you ask me for explanations. What else do you wish from me?
Well, I'm simply asking what gives you the impression we're well off. We're not exactly hanging gold chain. Sorry, not gold chains, gold necklaces around our necks.
No, but perhaps you have some gold coins.
How does she know about that? Okay.
not enough to hire the manpower we would need to defeat the wolf.
What, are you intending to hire an entire army? That's plenty enough. Again, you haven't answered my question.
And what is your question?
What else do you need from me? You said something else? I'm all ears. You have a rare chance for an audience with me. Do not waste it.
Well, should we mention the letter? I don't think that's too unreasonable.
Can we ask her again what she wants? Like, we want to know if we can help her, before we, I don't know what.
Yeah, it might be worth asking one more time. If that's all right with everyone, interrupt me if you don't think I should, but Muninn would say, well, we do have other demands, yes, but this is a mutual exchange. Before we mention what else we would want, what is it that you want from us?
I think she would say, we can either play coy or we can lay our cards on the table. Decide now.
Well,
Fine.
With all due respect, and again,
I mean, the thing is that we were signed on to take down the wolf. We don't know if we can do anything else. Like,
yeah, I would think Muninn might. So I'm bored. If anyone wants to interrupt me, feel free. But Muninn would say, with all due respect, we have a job set out given to us by your cousin, and we've given
It's not a job. You came barging in, asking that you want to bring down the wolf, and my cousin, moron as he is, agreed. It's not a job. It's a mutual agreement. If you want to take down the wolf with my imbecile of a cousin's help, that's perfectly fine, and it's none of my business. But you're discussing matters with me, not with him.
Well, what do you suggest?
As I mentioned, we either continue playing coy, and, well, I doubt most of you have the political experience to do that. Well, except one of you, I guess. Or we lay our cards out on the table.
Well, so far, you're the only one who hasn't said what you want. We at least started with it. Fair and square here.
All right. Then why don't you tell me what happened in the swamps near Ampho, above board Anghel's home village?
What? How should it be?
In the swamps, what happened?
You know,
So long ago.
You know, the
everything
undead,
that turned
the
black?
orb. Yeah, the undead, the orb, all that stuff.
Oh!
Which is also why she knows why we have the coins in the first place.
My
How the
gosh.
fuck do you know everything? Like, who was spying on us? I mean,
Someone must have.
Ooh, I'm so tempted to just tell her about the urban stuff. I think if you don't disagree with that, Illona would just go ahead and maybe mention a bit about magic. Maybe not specifically where the orb is, or like
just to know
how it
like
works.
what she knows, maybe. Like, it makes sense, because how the hell does she know?
Yeah, we might get brownie points for like being honest, because she seems to know a lot more. Like, so
Yeah.
we may as well mention about magic and stuff, because if
'Cause she
she's
seems to know, yeah.
yeah, she seems to know it, and if we're like, oh yeah, there was magic, and she's like, oh well, they're being honest about that, then that's good. She might.
Or
give
she
it
thinks we're lunatics and lying, but I mean,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
if she
I'm
doesn't
used
know
to it by
about it
now.
already, then yeah.
Yeah.
We could give it a go.
Okay. In that case, Illona would how to put this to not sound like a crazy person.
I imagine that's what Illona says out loud.
Sure. Well, obviously, you know about the drastic change in nature, and that something unnatural happened.
May I ask what exactly?
Something left behind from the old Rimlen came to life again. And Illona would kind of put her fingers on her nose bridge and magic, and then look up to don't think I'm crazy.
Her expression does not change. Take that as you will.
That is good.
Are you familiar with this sense before, or?
Could you repeat the question above board? I'm sorry.
I would ask her if she's familiar with this, if she has any questions about it so far. Is she following basically?
Perhaps. My cousin did just come through town with his lifelong disease suddenly cured, so she shrugs.
Yeah.
Sorry, not cousin, uncle. Uncle. She will say uncle, not cousin. My bad, uncle.
Wait,
That
it's
is
the boy?
sweet. My gosh. He doesn't have syphilis anymore.
I guess.
Illona would ask that, he doesn't have syphilis anymore?
What a crass way to... Yes, you can say that. In fact, I hardly recognized him when I saw him.
Huh. What did he do? Did he talk to Cassius, maybe?
I guess feel free to whomever give me a careful to see if you guys remember something.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
A 2.
Okay. Is Muninn trying to remember as well, or?
Yes, sorry, my
No worries, no worries.
trackpad.
No worries. Sometimes Roll20 is okay. Sometimes Roll20 is also slower in general for slower computers. So yeah, okay. Muninn,
0.
Muninn, you have no idea. Anghel, Anghel and Illona would realize, but Illona would realize first, I guess, with those rolls.
Yes.
Remember when you guys like fought the basilisk and then you stumbled over a bloody ground with dozens of wolf corpses?
Yeah.
I'm the old man, right? Sat there.
Yep.
Okay,
The
that makes
old
sense.
man. What happened with the old man?
The old man was just there to like give you guys advice as a mystical figure.
Oh,
So the
Yeah.
Star Host dude killed a bunch of wolves and cured his syphilis there, I guess.
That's one conclusion you can come to.
okay, cool. I mean,
Illona would ask, like, how much... Is there anything more that you could tell me about what's happening? What's the... could you fill in the gaps for me?
Can I trust you? She means the collective, you're not just Illona. To like, I guess, signify that she's looking at all of you, not just Illona when she trusts you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Illona
It
would
just
say, like,
feels so weird. Like, how does it? I mean, okay, she met her uncle or whatever, but how does she know about everything before? Did we tell him everything? Maybe we told him everything.
yeah, we did, right?
Yeah. Oops.
Looking back at her past self, like, fuck.
Yeah.
If you want, this is above board, and it's not limited to just this specific instant. You guys can do it whenever. It's not even limited to this conversation. If you want to like examine what a person is feeling, like what cards are they holding, etc. You can try to roll a careful opposed by that individual sneaky to like gauge more their like individual reactions, thoughts, etc.
I would love to do that.
Okay,
Rolling straight away. A 4.
and let me roll her sneaky.
I was excited.
Oh man.
Each of us should do it
Whomever.
one by one, right?
I think.
Or is it 6?
I think what we would do. I'm actually a bit undecided. If I guess I'll make a verdict now that for this specific moment in time, the roll everyone would have to beat would be a 6. We won't do like individual rolls, but for like a different piece of information or a different moment in time, it will be a different roll. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like collectively higher than 6.
Yep.
Okay. I thought
Yes!
it was not all together.
Not all together. No.
Each one was.
If you want to, of course. You don't have to.
That's a 1. Okay, I guess.
Anghel, she reminds you of your mean aunt who used to bully you. You're scared of her.
Shivers.
He narrows his eyes even more.
Illona, all I can tell you is she's not telling you everything, but that was already obvious.
Yeah.
I guess Illona would say, like, to answer your question, well, so far, I don't see any reason why... wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Why we should not trust you? You should not trust us? What? I'm having a stroke? Help?
Hello?
Oh my god.
Yes. That went well.
You trust us, I think, is what you may have.
Oh god.
Yeah, she asked, can I trust you?
Yeah, that's what she asked.
And I said, yes.
So that's what Illona says, yes.
Well, that we don't have any reason to go against that.
I'm not sure if that's what Illona said or what Ashen said. So what does Illona say in reply to this question, if anything?
No, she would well convey that we don't have any reason to like not trust her.
I think she would chuckle. Like, this isn't me chuckling. Well, it's also me chuckling, but it's also her chuckling. And she would say, I can't believe you used to be a politician.
Illona scratches her head like blankly, like looking into the wall or something. Like, what? No, she doesn't. But
all right then. So, what happened? How did the land turn gray and all of that stuff?
He always say that to the boy too, though. Why did he tell her only about that and not about the orb and everything?
Which boy? Do you mean like the one
And
that?
Zarhos, like the syphilis dude.
can we just call him syphilis dude?
Syphilis dude.
He will follow him forever, even if he is healed.
I guess above board you can ask for his first. You can ask her for his first name. I guess.
Illona doesn't really care. Syphilis dude is completely fine.
Sure.
Yes.
In terms of like what happened to the land, I think Muninn would reply saying, "Well, the Rimlen held within the ground put a curse on the land, considering they seem to have some sort of magical like power to do so."
Above board, is this Muninn's interpretation or like a clever lie omitting the orb?
A clever lie, because I feel like didn't the curse more so come from the fact that the orb was taken above board or not?
I think you found out that because ancient magic works on a basis of equivalent exchange, the reason the land was so lush was because those ancient Rimlen gave their lives to basically be more or less frozen in time, so that life energy created the swamp. And then when they came back to life, they drained that life energy back into themselves.
Oh, I don't think we realized that, but okay.
That is really cool.
Like,
I didn't know that.
I love that.
That is really cool. I don't know if Muninn would lie. If Muninn, like, do we know this like in character or not?
What I just said, you would know at the very least the equivalent exchange part, and I'm assuming Muninn can extrapolate based on what yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Muninn would still say what they said. Like, I think above board Muninn said that originally because it was like an oversimplification of what happened, but then it still works as that.
I thought you said you trusted me. So you're saying there's no orb involved in this story?
You have met your what is the
Syphilis dude.
You have met syphilis dude.
I know.
You should know about the orb.
Can I get a careful from you guys when you say that? Well, I'm assuming you say it in not that rude of a manner, I guess. And I'll oppose with her sneaky.
What? A careful?
Yeah, and I'm opposing with her sneaky.
But Anghel isn't actually saying anything. Does it still count?
Yeah. This is to gauge a reaction.
Okay, it's a 3.
Ooh.
2, 3,
We
3.
suck.
She's also good at what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politician.
Okay. She says, well, as I said, are we going to trust each other and lay our cards out or not? You're being very... All this time I've had to drag the information out of you when you've barely given me anything. I'm starting to think this isn't worth my time.
Well, do you want us to monologue on here? We kind of want to, like, discuss it. Because you obviously know a whole deal about it as well. And it's pointless to go into specific details if you don't know the concept already. So we laid it first in, like, terms that are understandable. But I guess you know more than you let on.
Can I get a sneaky from Illona?
Okay, 2. Wow.
Yeah, this is not going well today.
I'm opposing for careful.
I win that one, right?
Yeah.
Sure. She will say, I don't think omitting critical information is simplifying matters.
Well, I think Muninn would like...
Is the same as simplifying matters. That sounds more grammatically correct, sorry.
Yeah. If it's okay with everyone else, Muninn would say, well, if you must know, considering it seems like you know this already, this orb that the Rimlen was this orb, which is an artifact of the Rimlen that Zarhus is currently in possession of, we were it was given to us by the Rimlen, and we currently need to transport it somewhere, but along with a message. But currently, as Zarhus is in possession of this orb, that risks our mission, and also risks a negative consequence from the ancient Rimlens. The way Muninn said that was really weird, but you get the point.
May I once again get careful from you, and I'll oppose with a sneaky, again to gauge your reaction?
All of us?
Yes.
Whomever is watching her face.
Yes.
Okay, let's do
I do have a question as well.
Go ahead, if it's an above-board question.
Yes. It's kind of above board. Could I? Yeah. I had to double check my character sheet though. Could I use my stunt for this as well?
Which one?
Sharp eyes for the careful roll.
Yep. Oh yeah, actually, you are analyzing someone, so for all your rolls so far, it would have applied, but I don't think it would have changed anything.
That's okay. I should have realized, so that was my bad anyway.
Well, yeah, with that rolls, unfortunately, no further information that I can give. Okay, she would say, all right, a small amount of progress. May I ask, where do you intend to take this object? Uncle. Sorry, I keep. Most of these people are cousins, but in this case specifically, it's an uncle. My bad. Uncle was insistent on taking it to the ruling council, but seemed to change his mind at the time.
Oh, really? He changed his mind?
That is
Interesting.
Isn't the ruling council where we were taking it above board, or?
Sort of. It's where. Remember when you first met Uncle Zarhos? That's where he insisted that you take it, and you all agreed. So yeah, it's the place you were taking it, but only because he said so.
I mean, otherwise, we were just, we didn't have any concrete plan with it, did we?
Not really. Not really.
Did she mention why he changed his mind?
Probably.
I don't think she did.
Oh,
She
no,
did.
but-
She did not mention it. Feel free to ask, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah, Illona would say, that's very interesting. Do you know any specific reason to why he changed his mind? Any events that happened?
He's always been a power-hungry bastard, so I guess that's answer enough.
Not nice.
This might be risky. Should check with you guys first. But I would kind of be inclined for Illona to say so, like, interpret that as she doesn't want her uncle to have the power, and she might ask for help for.
Again, feel free to, if you want, roll careful. I'll pose with sneaky to like gauge her intention.
That is a really
Sure.
that is well spotted though, Ashen. So yeah, that's a good idea.
I feel like
Yeah,
it
it
could
makes
be
sense.
worth risking, like saying that, like, as Illona as well, because I have shit rolls. So, like, a shot in the dark is maybe better than, I don't know, what is this? 2 against 7, yeah.
Okay. So you're not able to gauge anything, but if you intend on saying something, do let me know.
Say it.
Okay. In that case, Illona would say, well, excuse me if this sounds rude, I do apologize, but I hear a sense of a plead for him not to have that power. Am I correct?
This is, sorry, the pause is not her being confused, it's me slightly being confused. I think she would say, well, I think that much is obvious. Yeah.
So
Yes, I'm not particularly fond of him having that power. Whatever it may be.
And you want our help to get the orb back, or would you rather have possession?
Now I'm starting to see that you were indeed a politician.
Thank you. Illona wouldn't answer to that, but like, so what is your plan here? What do you want us to do?
I don't know. That's why I'm interested in finding out more information so that I may take the appropriate course of action. Whichever that may be.
if it's okay for everyone, Muninn would say to speak frank, or to speak freely, that it wasn't his place to take the orb from us in the first place. So
she rolls her eyes.
Sorry?
She rolls her eyes when you say that.
Didn't you give it to him? Like, completely?
Yeah.
No, he took it from us, didn't he?
Yeah, right, because there was the ogre, right?
Yeah,
And then he just-
the ogre ambushed Muninn, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Muninn would continue and say, the orb was under my possession and he took it from us, so I wouldn't be opposed in taking it from him under your, like, be it under you or our own jurisdiction.
What a simplistic motivation, but well enough, I suppose.
Well, I think we could, like, speaking above board, maybe like drop the whole wolf hunting thing in that case. Maybe just give the gift to the witch and like maybe take her offer instead, in like exchange for protection from like the bounty we have on us.
Ooh,
Because
interesting.
to
I mean-
me, like, Illona's motivations are like, this is way more exciting than wolf.
Sure.
We could. At first, I was like, "What about the village of people?" But then,
Who cares?
I will say, if this is something the characters are also debating, like more among themselves, because I don't think you can like voice that with her right next to you. Anghel would feel push.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah, he should stay and deal with the wolf because it's his duty as Prince Charming.
There's gonna be so much
this
more
is so fucking shitty.
magical creatures and wolves the more you use it. Shit.
I have something that Muninn could say, and if everyone agrees with it above board, it could be an in-character thing. But like, if not, then like if you say like, "Oh no, that doesn't sound right," then we could like consider it as like above board, like what's the word? Talking amongst ourselves. Does that make sense?
My ears are peaked. I want to hear this.
Okay. So taking what I imagine we've like in character, we've already discussed like the idea of like. Actually, maybe Muninn shouldn't say this straight away because we haven't really discussed it very much in character. The idea of abandoning the wolf thing.
This is the first time you've brought it up in both above board and in character, I think.
Yeah. I had like a massive
Did we say
thing.
the character yet?
No.
No. All right, never mind. Ignore me then. I had this massive thing in my head that like, oh yeah, this is exactly how it could work, but obviously it doesn't make sense to say that yet. So yeah, don't worry. Never mind.
But like above board, not even there.
I guess I could say it above board. So like, I was thinking like, so we could negotiate money from the cousin, obviously, which would be the motivation for her to give the money to us would mean that either we hire people to deal with the wolf so that we can fuck off and like find the orb, or the money is like because we need money for the witch anyway. So the money could also be for like, oh, well, if we hire people, pay off the witch, and we are personally like fight the wolf, that would kill the wolf a lot faster so that we can go and fuck off and like find the orb faster, if that makes sense. Like either way,
Yeah.
like we would get money from her because it would make us find the orb faster.
But both scenarios kind of have us dealing with the wolf, right?
Not both. So the first scenario, we would just piss off.
Just to buy, yeah. Someone else would deal.
Someone else would deal with it. As well as, I don't think I mentioned it the first time. The first scenario, we buy out people and pay off the witch so that they can like deal with the wolf and we piss off. And then the second scenario is that we still get involved, but the fact is that the wolf will die quicker. In theory. It's basically the same thing. It's just whether or not we get involved. But anyway, I've been rambling. What do you guys think?
I think like Illona's motivations as they are, she's so ready and willing to drop the wolf thing. She doesn't really care about that.
Yeah, she doesn't care. Anghel does care though. At least he's forced to care or something.
Yeah.
So like he wouldn't agree to this unless yeah.
Anghel is obviously free to ignore the like little nudge in his mind, but it will have some consequences.
Yeah.
Is there an option to like split paths as well, or is it better if we like take it on together from like a DM perspective?
From a DM perspective, please don't split the party.
Okay, we split the party.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeet.
I mean, you guys can do what you want if that's what you want to do. I would discourage it, but if that's what you want to do, then that's what's going to happen. It's just going to be a pain in the ass for everyone. Speaking from experience, it usually means like I spend, say, like half an hour to an hour with a character and what they're doing while everyone else does nothing. Then I switch to that other group or other people while...
Yeah, I mean, we did this on a small scale before, I think, right?
Yeah, on a small scale.
Yeah.
On a small scale, yeah, sure, fine. But it would be best that you don't, from a DMing perspective and from a campaign perspective, it would be best not to split the party.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Well, I vote for the paying other people to do it in that case, because then we would still kind of deal with it, but we could.
Yeah, and I think that would be fun, as far as Anghel's concerned. At least it's a lot better than just kind of totally fucking off. Yes.
Well, you still solved the problem in that case. Like, you totally did your maybe I'm pulling a stretch here. I don't know.
It's kind of putting a lot of faith in people. Like,
That's exactly it.
The only thing indication I'll give is that Anghel feels the push to be personally involved, which of course you can ignore. You can do whatever you want.
Personally involved. Well, that's nice. Hey.
Imagine that you were there for it.
I think Muninn would be neutral. They don't mind what happens, but either way, we would need more money for more people to deal with the wolf if we pissed off first.
I think we should propose this to her.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yes.
We could propose both options, maybe, and obviously, like, Illona and Anghel would prefer either or, because if that makes sense. And then Muninn is just like the in between of like, well, I don't mind.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I mean, Anghel won't be able to make a convincing case of any kind, but okay.
He could through. Oh, what do you mean? Because it's like, oh, I have this feeling that I need to be involved. Like, is that what you mean? Or
No, just that he wouldn't be able to talk for himself, basically.
okay,
You can squint even harder. You can just close your eyes.
He could. He could try through me, like not me, Muninn, possibly. He could try and make a case through Muninn, if that makes sense. If that helped.
Yeah, okay.
If you try through Illona, it would definitely like be a bit more like generous to what she wants.
I mean, it would kind of be mixed loyalties there.
Yeah.
Okay. So who would like to? Should I propose the thing, or did you want to, Illona? Or
Go ahead.
okay. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Okay, so I imagine after like discussing this in character, like everything that we said above board, does that count as in character to an extent as well? Or
I honestly don't see how it can be in character, because she wouldn't really just stand there and like cover her ears, if that makes sense.
okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, la. Okay. I was just thinking how I would frame it. So Muninn would like sit there like with their back against the backrest, and like them hands on their mouth or beard rather, and then they would like lean forward from the backrest and like clasp their hands and say, well, considering everything we've spoken about already, we have two main options that I can see. Option one, we deal with the wolf, like that threatens the village. However, we will be delayed in dealing with Zahos and retrieving the orb. Now, if we were to go through this route, we would need supplies, money, for people to help us deal with the wolf, because as great as we are, we cannot deal with this thing on our own. Do you agree?
Are you asking her?
Yes.
She would sigh and say, I don't particularly care about the wolf one way or another. I'm not really convinced by my moronic cousin's insistence that it's as tall as a church or whatever. I very much think he's exaggerating.
Illona would chime in there and also like, for me, the wolf is also of a lesser priority. I would be willing to proceed with retrieving the orb.
If you believe that this wolf is a threat, I'm not saying I do, I'm saying if you do, then I can allow you until the morrow, I suppose. I suppose that's enough time to potentially deal with that creature.
Well, that's option one. Muninn would like continue. Like I said, we would need as much help and resources as you can generously provide.
That's one other thing I wanted to mention. Aren't you particularly well off yourselves?
Well, we were, of course, but the thing is of collecting coins from ancient ruins, they can only take us so far.
Welcome back, Show&Tell.
Welcome.
She asked, "Well, don't you guys have money?" That's what she asked. She will say, "Go ahead."
I don't remember for the life of me how much money I have.
You guys are fairly well off because you robbed those soldiers you murdered as well. So you have a decent amount of like the smaller coins, the ones that you use to like buy food or whatever. Also a decent amount of like the medium quote unquote silver coins that you can use for more important expenses, like say buying a horse or whatever. And you also have like a handful of the really valuable gold coins.
Okay.
That makes sense.
What is a decent amount? I just want to like write a number down so I don't forget it again.
Are you asking about the silver or which ones?
Yeah, you said we have a decent amount of like the silver medium coins and
Probably
like all.
Probably enough to buy horses for this is hypothetically. Buy horses for everyone and I guess one more person, like for example Lass, if you were in the party.
Okay.
Which is a decent amount, don't get me wrong, but you're not super rich.
How much does a horse cost? One person.
Pretty expensive.
Right.
It's hard to like quantify it without like speaking in exact units, and I don't really want to go into exact units because that would mean that we'd have to like micromanage your finances too.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. In response to what the boyar's cousin, do we know her name? Sorry.
Ophelia
Yeah.
Zarhos. I'll type it in chat.
Okay, Ophelia. Okay. Well, in response to what Ophelia said, Muninn might say, "Of course we have coin, but not enough to hire enough people to deal with such a threat to the village. Surely you can agree."
Well, though, if you have ancient gold coins, that should be plenty enough to hire, say, the local mercenaries.
Few and far between, though. I must admit, we took a handful of these coins when we left the ruins, but we've surely spent them along the long and arduous journey to get to this point. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but
I think I would have heard if someone were spending that large amount of money. But fair enough. I concede that those coins aren't perhaps the ideal way of buying mercenaries.
Exactly. So, as long as we're in agreement, then
On this point.
that's option one.
We hire enough people to deal with the wolf on their own and leave the village to their own devices. But option 2,
I love how you keep saying village.
yeah, I mean, Muninn would.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
Her eye twitches every time.
Yeah. So Muninn would say that. They would say, we hire enough people to deal with this monster on their own, and we set off immediately, or not immediately, on the morrow, to deal with... Actually, no, I don't know if Muninn would say that. Muninn would say, we would set off soon to find your uncle and retrieve the artifact. Or option 2, and possibly one that is more in favor of your cousin, or something that your cousin would be more in favor of. So rather, we retrieve a generous donation from yourself, just as before, but instead of setting off sooner, we deal with the creature. We deal with the monster. We participate in dealing with the monster as well as the mercenaries, etc. Which would mean this, of course, would mean this would delay our departure to catch up with your uncle, of course, but it would at least ensure that the monster is definitely slain.
She sighs and says, either way, you need my money. Fair enough. As to your 2 options, well, I don't believe he would be able to get that far away, I'm being perfectly honest. So if you insist on helping slay the creature, that would be acceptable. I say we should depart on the morrow at the latest. I think that should still give us enough time. If you instead believe that we should depart now, we can be ready within a couple hours. Traveling at night has never been my favorite pastime, but what can you do?
Okay. Illona, to just, I guess, put a bit of stress on her point, or just try to persuade people, would say well, to say that he's not able to get far whilst he's having the orb of immense magical power, I think he can get much further with means we don't even know about. I think we should head off now.
Can I get a clever or flashy from you?
Alright. I rolled a 0.
Okay, then I'm not gonna bother rolling, because even her minimum would be that.
Oh, man. Every single roll today has been so shit. Wow.
Yeah.
She's also very good at what she's doing. She says, you don't need to bullshit me. Whatever plan you're thinking of, I am amenable to it. Above board, this is a decision that I'd like you all to make. She is fine with either option.
Yeah.
Her only caveat, I guess, would be that if you decide to go kill the wolf, that you don't take too long and that you are all able to leave in the morning. Above board, it's late afternoon at this point. Traveling at night isn't really something people usually do, so you wouldn't really be able to get very far if you leave right now. You'd get a little bit of a distance, but not a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so
this isn't to push your decision in one way or another. It's just to inform you of everything.
So we need to very quickly, in a minute, discuss amongst ourselves what we should do. That's good that she's on our side, at least.
I think she will say, again, personally, I don't see what all the fuss is about. And I honestly,
She hasn't seen the wolf.
yeah, she thinks that this whole wolf business is a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly.
And she'll say, I'm really not convinced you need a whole band of mercenaries to deal with a slightly above average wolf.
Well, actually, no, I don't think Muninn would say that. Muninn was going to say something, but they would bite their tongue.
Mm.
Um,
I felt the same from Illona right now.
well, above average or not, we appreciate your willingness to contribute to our efforts.
Not much, mind you. I'm still not convinced that it's a threat. Above board, you'd need to like convince her that this wolf is a threat to get her to like cough up a lot of money. She'd only give like at this point she's only willing to give like a modicum sum.
Okay.
In that case, maybe we should like explain to her that the wolf is actually of magical origin because of the orb, and is in fact as big as a church.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, Illona says that in a very cool way, in a very political way.
Have you seen it?
Yes, we saw it rip a man in half.
Where?
Clean cut. North from here, where we first saw it. I mean, south. Yes, Illona like boinks her head to the wall again.
She says, no. I still think my cousin would be able to deal with it easily enough. Do you really think this creature is capable of causing that much damage?
I would give her like a very serious like look in my face and just yes.
With respect, does Muninn know her name?
The Ophelia Zarhos? Yeah, she has been introduced.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Actually, I don't know if Muninn would say her name because it's kind of informal anyway. Muninn would say, with respect, this creature could definitely cause the whole village to be wiped out if it really wanted to. This isn't us trying to like shake you down just to line our pockets. We genuinely believe this wouldn't take just a small band of vagabonds to deal with this wolf.
What's Anghel's like facial expression?
He's looking very earnest, and like he's nodding when Muninn is describing the wolf, like trying to emphasize it. It's a big.
May I get either a careful or a flashy from either Illona or Muninn, and the other two players will assist, and I'll oppose with Ophelia's forceful.
A flashy or a what? Or careful?
Yeah, correct.
Who has the best?
Out of us, is Anghel allowed to do it as well, or is it literally just us two?
Just the two of you, because Anghel isn't really speaking, more like supporting.
Right, okay.
Okay, in that case, I entrust Muninn with it because I roll shit rolls today.
Oh, this is too much pressure. Okay,
I think that happened to all of us, though, so...
I'll roll a careful, because that's my highest step.
A mighty one, yes.
So that's like a 3. So could I... Should I re-roll, do you think? As in, is that allowed anyway?
Of course it's allowed.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I think you should, honestly.
You have to be the
if
6,
you
right?
run out of fate points, I'm even willing to compel you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, what was I going to ask? Oh yeah, so, okay, this is a bit of a technical question. So, my careful is a 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what dice would I roll along with a +2? Is it a D4?
Oh, you're like asking like how fate dice work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if you let me also switch for the viewers so they can see. You see the number that you rolled in the chat.
Yeah.
If you mouse over it, it will give you an exact breakdown of what you rolled. Again, fate dice work. Fate dice have 3 faces. Well, technically 6, but 2 of whatever. A plus, a minus, and a 0. 0 means nothing. Plus improves the roll by 1. Minus improves the roll. Well, not improves. Decreases the roll by -1. If you look at and you mouse over and see what dice you rolled 2 minuses and a plus, equaling out to a minus. So that's what you rolled. Your average is a 2 and you rolled a 1. Does that make sense?
I think so. So how would I
you,
know what
you rolled very slightly below average.
So would the max be 6 in that case?
Your
Because
max
it's
your
4.
max would be 6, not including the assists.
Okay. I will definitely re-roll because it's a below average anyway.
What are you invoking?
as far as aspects, I think Munin's aspect to re-roll. So I think Muninn is usually very secretive and distrusting. However, but as they're being honest, because as a traveling scholar, this is genuinely something that is like unprecedented and quite scary. So they wouldn't lie about it. Does that make sense?
So which one of the aspects are you choosing? The traveling scholar or the distrusting and secretive?
Traveling scholar,
okay.
they're a traveler, they haven't seen, and you get it.
Makes sense. I accept it.
Whoa, Nelly.
Do say out loud what you get when you roll.
Oh my god, I got a 0. I got a 0.
This
Hold
is
on.
rigged. DM, what have you done?
Do you wish to improve the roll further, or?
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't want to embarrass myself, unless anyone else thinks I should.
Ah, damn it. I want to say you should, but then what? I don't know.
I also say you should gamble hard.
Okay. 99% of gamblers quit before they hit big. Here we go.
Of course.
What are you invoking?
Carries the tome of knowledge and scribbles. So the same logic, like nothing in their tomes or scribbles would like have this. Nothing in their tomes, nothing in their time of traveling and putting stuff in their tome of scribbles and knowledge has been this like crazy. So they wouldn't lie about it.
Okay, makes sense.
Oh, I got a 2.
Okay, that's something.
That averages out to a 4 with the assists. Good news is if you had kept the 0 or the 1, she would have thought, okay, you're a bunch of bullshitters, I'm not giving you any money. With a 2 she's just unconvinced.
Okay,
But it's a 4, right? With the assists.
Yeah, 4 in total, but you know what I mean.
If I compel Muninn and they have an extra fate point and could improve again,
But we need another aspect.
It's yes to what Show&Tell said, to what Ashen said, sorry. Yes, we can do that. It's a bit forcing the rules, but I have allowed that in the past, and in fairness sake, I should allow it now. So if you compel Muninn, and Muninn finds a way to spend the fate point, yes, you can. That can happen.
I was gonna say Show&Tell has a good point. Which aspect would I use? That's cool. Sorry.
But I couldn't help but notice that you said it was a traveling scholar, or is very distrusting and secretive?
distrusting one, yeah.
And we haven't used that one. And it seemed like both of them would be fine.
They're
Right.
distrusting.
Oh,
and
for
secretive.
No, or maybe
no, for the justification that Deli gave, I would not have taken distrusting and secretive.
Okay.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Right.
Okay.
He was asking to make sure that.
But but obviously, for each aspect that you use when improving your role, you have to give a different justification. So yeah,
I could give
Small
a
daggers.
I could give small daggers. I throw a dagger at her and threaten her. No, I could give a different justification, but it's similar. By the way, fun fact. I'm pretty sure this is correct. What Teeironor said, or just described as case law, like you know, where you said like, oh yeah, I've
thing.
allowed it in. Sorry,
the precedent thing, I think you mean.
I think so. Where you're like, oh, I've allowed this in the past, so I'm gonna allow it again. That's like a thing that can happen in the court of law.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I'm not doing it to invoke legalese. I'm doing it because this is what I've done in the past. To be completely fair, I should and will allow it now.
Yeah, definitely. But that's off topic anyway. That's neither here nor there. So I was thinking the distrusting and secretive one, it may be a stretch, but I was just thinking in a similar fashion. They are distrusting and secretive, yes, but conversely, they are being honest and trustful to this woman. Does that work or not?
I think you're jumping the gun a little bit because you don't have a fate point to use.
Oh, of course, yeah. What's the compare?
You know, you smashed your head against the plate before, and maybe a bit of like caviar got stuck on the sofa or something. You feel very compelled to just like scoop up the caviar and like eat it from your hand while like looking her in the eye.
You
Like
need
a complete brute.
you need to choose an aspect to
Oh,
compel.
okay.
That is really funny, though.
Has
With the
keen
dagger.
eyesight and good sense of smell. Like he smells that caviar, he sees it, he scoops it up and eats it. Oh, sorry, they.
It's all good.
From an above-board perspective, it is permissible.
Nice.
And Muninn has to accept because they have no choice.
Yummy caviar.
I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. In the middle of a sentence, this happens. Muninn goes. Muninn, I don't know if you can hear this. Muninn will go, and then just like.
Oh god.
and
Yeah,
then
this is
scoop it
really
up.
making our case for us.
No, that's them eating the caviar.
She has an utterly disgusted look on her face and eventually face palms. And she says, she mutters to herself, perhaps I put too much faith in you.
That is really funny. Thank you. Okay, so this fate point, this newly acquired fate point. So the description that I gave earlier, do you think that fits, or is that a bit of a stretch in terms of the aspect? Or would you like me to remain?
Sure. I think what you gave when you jumped the gun, yeah, it works.
Okay, cool.
So this
cool.
this brings us to a tie, 6-6. Tie on an overcome means either you succeed at a negative cost or you fail.
I would succeed at it. I'd like to succeed at a negative cost, which I'm a bit nervous about, but I think I'm pretty sure that's the only thing I can do right now.
I don't know if it's a thing, but I'd like it to be a thing. This is also perhaps the moment where we discover that Muninn is allergic to caviar.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Oy.
Okay, so
Have I just killed you? Is this how it goes?
I'm dead. This is where I have to go off and make a new character now. I think as... Sorry, go on.
Do you have something in mind, Deli? If you do, please go ahead.
I can definitely go with like what you just suggested. I was just going to describe what would happen to Muninn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I think as Muninn like scoops the caviar into their mouth, after a while you can tell like I think they have fingerless gloves. Like the first thing to go red, their skin at least, is their fingers, and then after a while, if you notice, they like start tearing up, and then their face like starts puffing up a little bit, and they they start rubbing their chest and like like that, and like hitting. They keep hitting their chest as well, and like excuse me, like that. And then like Muninn would say like, "What did your cousin say this stuff was?"
Caviar, fish eggs with. She sighs to herself, not really feeling inclined to explain what caviar is.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Muninn would say, excuse me, and then they would like stand up and you'll have to excuse me. I'm definitely allergic to fish.
She face palms.
This is hilarious.
Muninn would walk out. Muninn would walk out the room in search of a Muninn would walk out the room in search of a medic or like a priest or something.
Medic not in this town, buddy. Priest, I mean the church just burned down.
No, Muninn's fuck.
I imagine it's like increasingly harder to find anything with like maybe your eyes are swelling as well. Just puffing up.
Muninn might actually die.
I think let me see if I have something to compel for Muninn. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong thing, sorry. I actually can't compel. I guess you would see Rebob take a step forward. All of you would remember that Rebob tried to resuscitate Muninn, ended up hurting them more instead, but to the untrained eye, he did help. He like takes a step forward and like looks around like, should I do something?
Yeah,
I totally want to know what he does.
Anghel would obviously not know what to do, right?
If I don't know, how would Anghel interpret the situation? You've probably not dealt with many allergies before, but do you think Muninn's choking? How would Anghel interpret the situation?
Choking, yeah, that sounds. Or what else? Like, I mean, I guess what else?
If you want, you can give me a clever.
Let's do that, but it's not going to help at all. Well, it's a -1.
A good punch to the stomach will do it. Good solid one, knock out all the air out of them.
This is how they die.
Oh god.
You've seen your father do this to your uncle before.
Gosh.
Oh god.
This is like the knowledge doesn't mean that like basically this is what Anghel believes you have to do in a situation like this. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is what Angel's going to do, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I guess he goes over to Muninn. Maybe. Oh, I really hope that Muninn can, dodge this. I don't know. Oh God. But maybe he's a little hesitant.
Anghel, it's okay.
He looks at him like, "Are you sure?"
I think Bob would start walking. Oh,
what?
Go ahead.
He kind of readies a hand. Oh my god, this is so bad.
Muninn is very clear what Anghel is intending to do.
Anghel, no. No, enough. No,
Oh my goodness.
Muninn would just try to continue to like excuse themselves.
I'm thinking, would Illona have experience with this?
Give me a clever. Answer is yes, Illona would know what to do, but above board, Teeironor, am not super sure what you do for allergies.
I think in like
never
this
been.
scenario it would make sense to like maybe get some special herb to soothe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, possibly.
in that case, like Illona's course of action would be to like ask, I guess, Rebob to get some of that herb, like fast, hurry, run.
He would proceed to do so. I'll blow his careful in the meantime.
Should Muninn leave the room so that negotiations
Oh, I
can
rolled the
continue?
wrong thing. He doesn't have a careful of 5, he has a careful of 4, my bad. Okay. Still successful. He will eventually return with the right herb.
Whew, awesome.
Yay. That turned very dire. Very
Yeah. Oh my god.
I think for Illona, she wouldn't just like continue with the negotiations while this is happening. I think this is like more urgent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, Muninn would like be a bit choked up still, but they would say like, I'm fine now. We can continue, and they would like go to sit down. And
eventually Rebob, well, fairly quickly actually, would come back with the herbs Illona requested. And I imagine like a pitcher of hot water if like you're intending to make tea.
Yeah,
That
that sounds good.
Okay.
Muninn would mix them and then drink from them, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm. And Illona has guided you all correctly, and Muninn, you will make a slow but eventual recovery.
Oh, I didn't kill you. I'm happy.
Very nice. I think Muninn would take a little bit of a backseat now, if that makes sense, because, like, I mean, it's not like I won't speak or anything, or Muninn won't speak, but they would, like, not speak as much.
They need to recover. Oh, that makes sense.
Ophelia has just been sitting in her sofa, just staring impassively with a, like, are you serious expression. And after everything's calmed down, she'll say, alright, you've convinced me that this wolf is something to take seriously. You have also convinced me that you people are not the ones to be trusted with this task.
Well, what's your other bet then?
My other bet is leave Gregory to handle it. He's always had a passion for hunting. He even has hounds, if you can believe it.
Wait, I didn't quite get. She believes that the wolf is a threat, but that we are not the right people for what exactly?
To take care. Yeah, to deal with it.
Okay, so I interpret it as like to take care of the orb. I was like, what? You're dropping us for that?
I mean, her confidence level in you guys overall has dropped, but you guys are tied to the orb, not just by your capabilities, but also by your story relationship with it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if Anghel's happy with that. That's what she says it. Like, that's what she says.
Yeah, that's what she says. She says, you've convinced me that the wolf is a threat to be taken seriously, but you've also convinced me that you people are not the ones to deal with it.
Okay, so Anghel kind of signs to Muninn, like, but the border kid take care of it himself.
Did you say can't?
Yeah.
Muninn reads the signing and says, on behalf of Anghel, I think my friend here would prefer to be personally involved in taking down this monster.
Shrugs. Your funeral.
Okay.
Again, above
She
board,
doesn't quit.
above board, she's more or less fine with either decision. You guys were going to make. She just, at this point, doesn't have confidence in you.
Right, it off. I don't believe it,
Okay.
to be honest.
I think now might be a good time to mention the letter, but I'm going to frame it in a certain way, if that's all right.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's like I was going to frame it like, oh yeah, you don't have confidence in us, but if we deal with everything, if we deal with the wolf or if we deal with the orb, then would that instill confidence in you to write us a letter?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that works.
Question about the letter. Would that also clear us from like the mercenaries kinda trying to take us?
That conversation has not come up. But
Yeah.
if you're asking if a letter from her will clear you of like the mercenaries trying to arrest you, probably not.
Okay.
The way you guys were talking about convincing the mercenaries to back down was with money.
Which one?
Which
Maybe
was
we could
which was
just-
why you needed her money specifically.
Maybe we can go with a different strategy to be like more we use some money to buy different clothes to look very plain.
Oh, clothes are cheap. You definitely have money for clothes.
Then we could go for like disguise option instead.
Yeah. I mean,
So we should buy. So
less, like I would say, like it's less foolproof, I guess, but nothing is foolproof anyways.
so are we gonna buy like disguises ourselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's not gonna clear us like the whole bounty, like pay
Okay.
every mercenary for us. So
Yeah,
it would be fun as well to
Yeah, little
switch
dress up.
styles. Yeah.
Okay. What does everyone think about the letter thing? Mentioning it now.
Go ahead. I want to see what she says about it.
Okay. Muninn would say, now that we've discussed what, now that you've answered our question, I would like to discuss the final thing that we would like from you, if that's okay.
She looks at you, says nothing, but like indicates that you should continue.
So, there is above board the prince that we're getting a letter for. Could I have a reminder of what prince this is?
Prince Adamos, he's the ruler of the country you are in, which is a vassal of the Caramel Empire, and you are asking for his help to like intercede on your behalf with Caramel authorities to release Anghel's sister. Which is convoluted, but it is the plan of the greatest chance of success.
Okay, that makes sense. So Muninn would continue and say, it's obvious that you don't have the greatest impression of us, and your confidence for us is questionable. However, we are, along with dealing with this wolf, retrieving the orb, etc., there is another thing that is that we as a party are trying to deal with. Obviously, Muninn might word it a little bit better than that, but so we kindly request that if you agree, upon dealing with, perhaps, if we decide to deal with the wolf, so be it. But if not, if we, upon dealing with the orb, whichever comes first, we kindly request that you write us a letter of recommendation for the prince of this country.
May I ask what you wish of him?
That's a long story. However, I'm not opposed to telling you, as long as my friend here is not opposed to divulging.
Do you indicate?
Sorry?
Do you indicate Anghel?
Yes, I do.
Oh god. Okay. I mean, does it work? Does she believe that he's a prince? Actually, at all?
I don't think so. Does she?
Okay. So if she...
Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. It will depend on what you say.
So, like, I think if she doesn't believe him at all, then I guess telling her the truth doesn't matter. Like, it could help us overall. If she does believe it, then I don't know. Then that would need more explaining. Can I maybe roll a careful to gauge whether she...
Give me a careful and I'll oppose with her sneaky.
Okay. A 5. That's better than I expected. That's better than anything we've ever gotten so far.
It is. Let's see what she gets.
Fine.
Mother trucker. She's good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well.
Should we be honest then, or?
I guess I will say one little indicator. She asked. She said earlier in the conversation when she showed her true face, so to say. She's mentioned all of you by name.
Oh, okay. So she knows. Yeah. Did we tell the boy? Probably. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. You don't need to keep up with him.
I think when Muninn points at Anghel sort of hesitatingly, she says, "Is this to do with his sister?"
Oh, okay.
She knows so much.
Did we tell the boy everything? Like, what the hell are we doing?
We are very smart people.
Think you may be misremembering something, but I will not elaborate.
Misremember? Who did we tell? What? It's not the boy?
Anyway, when she says that...
What are we...
When she says that, what's your guys' reaction?
I was definitely taken aback. I'm trying to think, who did we tell the sister?
I really don't. I can't remember.
We told Miran about her, did we? Did we? Probably.
I'm not sure.
You did tell Miran. You did tell Miran, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's not you who told him. It's Joseph who did. Because they were buddies, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what? I'm so confused.
You're wondering how I know, don't you?
Yeah, a slow nod, I guess.
All in due time, I guess.
Oh, that was very teasy.
I think Illona can't help but smirk at that. She's so slippery, you know. You don't get information out of her.
No, not at all. Okay.
So you wish the princess help to rescue, indicating Anghel, his sister.
Yeah.
Muninn would nod as long as Anghel nods as well, if that makes sense.
I guess. I guess he does.
Okay. So, in that case, Muninn would say, you really, what would Muninn say? I think Muninn would say something like, "Oh, you really are a clever one."
She will smile a little bit, and then will say, "Well, fortunately for you, I'll do you one better. I'm headed to St. Paris myself for my esteemed cousin's wedding. I'll personally introduce you to him."
Damn. That works.
If we succeed with retrieving the orb.
Fair enough.
It sounds reasonable enough, Muninn would say. Where can we meet you when we retrieve the orb?
Well, I'm assuming we'll be going together. I mean, my uncle is following the most direct route to St. Paris. That's the one I'll be taking. I'm assuming that's the one you will be taking. She shrugs.
Muninn would nod and say, "Yes, that works."
I do have one other question. During your travels, have you ever met any other people of import? I'm not talking about the soldiers you slaughtered, mind.
We've met a lot of people on our travels. Can you care to be more specific?
People of import, other nobility.
Above board, I'm not sure.
But do you need me to give you a list? Because there's lots of those.
Exactly, yeah.
It was the woman who gave the letter to Illona. Was that nobility?
That does count as nobility.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we do need a list. Like we can't track.
Well, there's the nobles who got killed by the wolves in the forest. There's Miron. There is the woman that you've met twice. There is Yosef Bey, not Anghel's future brother-in-law, but the exiled Ziemi nobleman.
Wait, the guy who?
The guy you beat up and you then saw traveling with the woman who gave Illona the letter. Other nobility. The Moremi, the guy who treated you to borscht and asked you to deliver a letter.
Huh? Wow, I don't remember.
I don't know if we would have that letter, so.
Unless you've dropped it, it will be with you.
Okay, in which case. Sorry, this is completely almost. Actually, I might mention it later. I'm just gonna put it in my notes.
Okay.
Muninn would mention that person that you just mentioned, the person with the with the letter that we had, just because I feel like
there's two people that gave you letters: the woman and the eccentric nobleman who said, back in my home country they wanted to take away my beard, so I ran away here.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Was her name Lupa?
Lupa is the noblewoman, yes.
Okay.
Oh wow, I don't remember. I don't know. Okay.
Should we just say that list to her?
Yeah, is that cheating? Can we say that?
You can. This is the information that you know, and you can say whatever you like. Do keep in mind that your actions have consequences.
Why is she asking though? I'm not sure shooting. I mean, we were forthcoming with the civil student look, but that brought us.
Yeah. Maybe we just say that we're really bad with names. We met some dude called Miriam. What was it called again? Some woman.
Is that what Illona says?
I don't know. I guess she would ask first, like, what does it matter to you? Why do you want to know this?
To point out the completely obvious, there's lots of boyars, lots of nobility in this country. Each has their own interests. Each is supporting a different faction and a different party for the throne. I'm, as you can imagine, part of one faction. I'd like to know the whereabouts of other people you've met. Above board, feel free to give me a careful and I'll pose with a sneaky.
Watch me lose. -1. Wow.
Does that apply to just Illona? Sorry.
Anyone who wants.
Would my...
It's a 2.
Yes, your stunt would apply, yes.
Okay, cool. I got a 2 plus 2.
That's 4. Illona, I don't know what's like a proper, not punishment, but like response, I guess, to your failure impression. I don't know, I'll think of something later, I guess. Muninn, you get the inkling that she may be interested in someone in particular. But you're not sure about any more than that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but...
Okay. So, she may not be what in particular, like speaking about anyone in particular. Is that what you said?
No, you get the inkling that while she is asking a very general question, you get the inkling that she actually just wants to know about like one person or one group in particular, right. But you have no idea who that may be with that role.
Okay, that makes sense. Muninn might ask, I'm pretty sure we've already done this, but Muninn would insist again, like, well, as I said, we've met many people of nobility. If you could give any indication as to who it could be that we've met, we may be able to confirm or deny.
Nice.
Muninn would...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Muninn would also say, like, I'm not trying to, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to hide anything from you. I just simply would need to have my memory jogged, so to say. Or, yeah, you get it.
She would turn to look at Illona and say, be honest with me then, why have you come to this country? You bear the air of nobility. Are you involved in any way with what's going on in the power struggle of in this country? She asks specifically Illona, like not even considering Muninn and Anghel in this question.
But am I specifically a part of power struggle?
Not in this country. Not in this country, but this is entirely up to you, Ashen. How you want to play Illona, if you want to like involve her in politics. You're not involved, but this is an opportunity to become involved with someone. You let me know if this, not you let me know, but like you decide rather if this is someone you'd like to be involved with.
That mega intrigued me. I didn't like specifically account for Illona to be like politically engaged, but this sounds very cool. I like it.
Yes. I mean, we were I was fairly recently looking through like our chat history for an unrelated reason, and I did stumble upon our first discussions about Illona, and your first concept of her was related to this.
Okay. That was a long time ago in that case, because I don't remember. Alright. Well, yes, please. Introduce me.
Well, again, how do you answer her question if you are involved in any way with, like, the politics going on in this country? And to, like, put it in layman's terms, this is an opportunity for you to sell out someone potentially in order to gain favor with this lady. Or not, of course.
Okay. So, she basically wants me to, like, rat out one of the nobilities we met, and then she will grant me political favor, or what?
I mean, as with politics in general, it's all give and take. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, basically.
Damn, okay. This is like hitting a conflict in my brain right now to which direction I want to take Illona. Because, like, as I was the moment before, I was like, nah, hell, not getting into politics. I guess we could have time to talk about that on the road as well, to give myself some time to think.
Okay, sure, then I guess she will notice your hesitation and, like, perhaps smile to herself and say, then perhaps you can tell me later. Is that alright with you?
Illona would just nod and look very, like, caught up in a thought.
Alright. Well then, what are your intentions? Do we depart this evening? Do we depart on the morrow and give you time to deal with the wolf? Do you need my financial assistance?
Anghel, by the way, would be pacing around. Like,
oh, that would be very distracting because everyone else is sitting.
Okay, he's pacing around behind them, though.
Rebob is staring at you, hands on the pommel of his sword, like unsure if Anghel is a threat or just, you know.
Oh God! On the one hand, he really like. I mean, it's the first time that we mentioned anything related to his sister in a long time, so it just kind of dogged a lot of things, I guess. And it's like, part of him kind of wants to depart right away, even though it makes not a lot of sense. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? Maybe.
Of course it matters, but I'm not sure what you mean by it doesn't really matter.
Like, in terms of the time, you said he wasn't going to make that much of a difference, did you? Or something?
What I will tell you, number one, actions always have consequences. Number two, if you depart now, it probably means that you'd only be able to, like, travel for a couple hours before the sun sets.
Yeah, exactly. And the bigger, I guess, the bigger part of his brain is screaming at him to stay, obviously.
Screaming is not the right word, and I don't want you to feel that I'm, like, aggressively pushing you in the, like, Prince Charming stereotype. This is an intrusive thought, that at most.
Okay, so it bothers him.
Yeah, bothers is a very good way of putting it.
Can I be kind of an asshole and compel Anghel to, like, do something?
Of course you can compel. Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can compel, but Show&Tell also has the right to refuse.
Yeah. In that case, I will go ahead and compel with the family killed and sister kidnapped by soldiers. That, like, the mentioning of his sister and, like, that urgency kicks in, and he wants to go and save her, like, as fast as possible.
That is a good
That's actually
compel.
that's a good compare.
Yeah, he's considering it already. Oh god. I feel so bad though. We were working so hard on his Prince Charming persona. Fine. Fine, I accept.
Okay, I'll pass along. The fate point. Anghel, not Anghel, Show&Tell. Remember how Anghel has that like morality meter? I'll give you a -1.
I'm sorry.
And
I mean, it's good to medicine the ass afterwards. Oh, I mean, it depends. Okay, fine. I don't know.
that does mean that something that was going to happen isn't going to happen anymore, but alright. And as...
Oh, what did you say? You just cut out? Something that was supposed to happen wouldn't happen?
Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't matter, maybe it will happen later. And there is something that I only mentioned in private to you, Show&Tell, that I will not reveal to anyone else, but I do look forward to everyone's reaction when it happens.
Ooh. Drama.
Why do you never know what we're talking about?
Same. Constant confusion, and that's my own fault.
Like, I don't remember all the details, damn it. Okay, fine.
If you want, I can message you in private after the session is over.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Illona would also I guess say out loud first. Well, in that case, before we go, we just have to stop by and make a quick payment at an old friend's.
All right. Oh, this gives me enough time to pack up and gather my people. I'll meet you at the exit of town in 2 or 3 hours.
Sounds good.
Okay. Above board, I'll move Ophelia's token to like where that would be on the map. Okay.
2 or 3 hours. Do we have time to also buy disguises? Because I think that would be super fun to like have in our backpacks or something. If we would need to like become someone else for a second.
Yeah. Slightly pushing it, but yeah, it's doable.
We're like 2 minutes late from that.
Yeah.
Sick.
Cool.
Well then, I suppose our business is done. Rebob, was it? Go and fetch your former master. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess this means that Rebob will come with us to get the orb as well. That's really cool.
Okay, interesting.
Yippee!
Above board, what will happen next is Ophelia would give Gregory, her cousin, like a very brief rundown of what happened, not mentioning the like magical details, but like saying, "Hey, you're on your own with the wolf. Deal with it." And I'm also taking Rebob and these people, basically.
I love this woman.
This is, I guess, your opportunity, if you want to ask or talk to Gregory before you depart.
Oh god.
Illona dabs in his face as she walks by. No, I'm just kidding.
See ya, sucker.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so terrible. Anghel feels really bad, I have to say.
I'm not sure if we have. Well, I'm not sure if I have anything to say to him before we leave.
I think I do. Sorry.
No, you
No,
go.
never mind. No, you go.
Okay. I think Muninn would say, like Muninn would like walk up to him and like sort of try and gauge his like reaction to like what he's just been told by his cousin.
Disbelief.
Yeah.
Disbelief, but also resignation. Like, this isn't the first time his cousin has taken away his toys.
I think Illona would like mumble as she passes, like, quite the powerful cousin you have. Not like waiting for a response or anything, but just like as she passes.
He would mutter back, "You've chosen your allegiances. You've made your bed."
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, okay, fine.
Basically,
I guess it makes sense that Illona would be so happy with this, but
it's also a bit of an implication that, like, yeah, she's powerful, and now you're stuck with her.
yeah, exactly. I don't think she's that. Like, right now, she's it's kind of working for us, but we might end up regretting it.
Yeah, we will see. Muninn might say to him, no hard feelings, though, I assume.
Oh my goodness.
We don't intend to burn bridges by doing this, but let's just say your men will be the men that deal with the wolf will be fine. We have strong assurances that the wolf will be dealt with.
May I at least have the money I lent you for the mercenaries back? Rebob like looks at Ophelia for permission, and Ophelia shrugs like, yeah, it's no big deal for her. And Rebob would hand back the little bag of money, unless you guys object.
No, we wouldn't object.
I think Anghel is in particular not looking, like not meeting his eyes or anything.
He isn't like particularly looking at any one of you. Like it's not the first time he's been like double-crossed.
I mean, it's funny because he was the one who told us to go.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's been double-crossed, so he's not really taking it personally, but he's still disappointed.
Oh God, it's killing me. Okay.
I feel bad for him, but we got better shit to do.
I'm just looking for a reason to use this stuff by now. But if I would just snatch it like very openly, like as Rebob has the money in his hands, if Illona would just like...
You would need to make a contested roll with Rebob. Your quick versus his forceful.
Okay. And he's pretty forceful. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Is this a good spot to end today's session?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We took a turn in the plot.
Thoughts on today's session?
I loved it. It was so much fun. Like the negotiation was really like, I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Interesting.
And she knows so much. I'm so happy it like goes back in the direction to like being on the road to that again and like having a different person who can make stupid like tell too much and regret later.
Yeah, we should probably be a little bit more like conservative with who we tell what.
Yeah, that's working well for us.
It's not our style.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Just put our life stories out to anyone.
I will say she clearly still has not revealed all of her cards. So, yeah, I guess we'll deal with that when we deal with that.
I guess so.
I bet she wants to work for herself. Something like that. She feels like she wants to work for herself. I bet there's
She probably does. We will see, but she probably does.
Yeah,
'Cause she
that makes
wields
sense.
her power pretty like flamboyantly. I'm sure some more couldn't hurt.
I do have a question for everyone. I'm not going to answer on her behalf because that would be slightly spoilery. But my question was, if this had degenerated into quote-unquote combat, obviously discussion combat, not actual physical combat, what would, hypothetically, if you guys had won, what would you have wanted from her? Because if you win, you like basically get to demand everything from anything, rather not everything from her. So what would you have wanted from her?
Money.
Money. Yeah.
I mean, pretty much what we asked for, I think.
Yeah. I think the way it's gone, it probably would have ended up the same. Like, everything that we have is basically the same as what we would have, or at least I would have demanded. Like,
Keeping in mind that if you win, that does mean that you don't owe her anything. So
Yeah, exactly. It would have been better, obviously, for us, but
maybe one like minor change that at least I would have like asked for her to, like, if we, like, let's say we won this like fight.
yeah,
This
hypothetical, yeah.
one thing I probably would have asked is to although no, actually, I was gonna say one thing I would have asked is to have the letter, regardless of whether we do a good job or whatever.
So yeah, that would have been part of your she would have conceded that, yeah.
Definitely. But it seems like what we got in the end is better than a letter, surely. Because we're gonna go see someone important rather than having our names written. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
yeah.
On the other hand, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but on the other hand, if you had defeated her, these agreements would have been ironclad. She would have been obligated by the rules of the game to respect what she's agreed with. This, what we've had so far, is mostly just a verbal agreement that she can potentially double-cross you on.
Yeah.
That makes
We
sense.
can't really trust her. Like, if she gets the herb, what really makes her, like, what obliges her to do what we asked her to do? Nothing much. Unless we somehow, hold the... I don't know. Like if she really wants the orb, and we kind of hold it away from her. But obviously, we won't really give it to her. Anyway.
There is time, I guess, and to find potential leverage, for lack of a better term. It's also entirely possible that she is not as Machiavellian as you portray her.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on that.
Either way, this would be interesting. This I'm not sure if this will happen like at the end of the next session. I think it will be the end of the next session, either that or in the middle of the next session. But either way, when you finally depart the city of New Spring, you will all quote-unquote level up, reach a significant milestone.
Woo! Finally!
Even though we didn't defeat the wolf.
Yeah, it is a significant milestone in the story, even if you didn't defeat the wolf, yes.
All right, it did happen to us with the Mother of the Forest at the beginning, I remember. Right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just keep in mind that actions have consequences.
Oh god, the wolf is gonna eat everyone and then come after us.
Yes. Read chaos. Oh. I have to say, it's like a few sessions back, I started taking like better notes. I have like the designated notebook for the sessions, and it's so much like fun to figure out a bit of like the puzzle pieces of the important NPCs. I don't know. It's like it's much like more easy to grasp now. Like have a list of all the names and stuff.
Nice.
It's easier to immerse myself because I forget it otherwise. I have a shit memory.
Yeah.
It's very good that you're taking notes. This isn't me being condescending or whatever, but generally speaking, as a player, it's a good idea to like take notes because lots of stuff can happen.
And then
Yes.
like make tiny little like sketches of how I like interpret their phrases and stuff. So like it's more immersive.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be very curious to see if you could post those sketches sometime. But either way, I guess my question would be: are you guys satisfied with what happened today? Like, in terms, not necessarily in terms of, oh, was this a fun session, but rather of like the like negotiation that happened.
Definitely. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
I'm very intrigued in like how she is as a character, and I feel like it took a very unexpected and very fun turn of the story.
Noted.
Overall, I'm also like happy. I mean, definitely. I just love the fact that we, kind of like. I mean, Ashen already kind of said it that well, like we went back to things that we, that we dealt with before and kind of lost track of, I guess. And the fact that Anghel's sister was brought up again. And also, I mean, like I had a really hard time, kind of going against the voice that Anghel like hears in his head. Like I didn't know exactly how to deal with that, so I'm kind of almost weirdly glad that we had this compelling. Just kind of ran away.
I will say, I know you said it earlier, but I will say that was a pretty good compile, and I'm annoyed that I didn't think of it. The Anghel, oh, he's thinking about his sisters. That's all he wants to do now. That compel, that was really good.
I'm annoyed I didn't think of a compel to give to Muninn now that they have 0 fate points.
You lost your chance.
Yeah. Another time will come.
I was thinking of like having Muninn, I don't know, try to find out if the boyar has a like book deposit that you can potentially plunder, but I thought that would be a bit too convoluted.
That's definitely not something I would be opposed to, though. Like,
Understood. But yeah, now you have, well, I would say you have Ophelia with you, but rather she has you with her.
True.
And you also, well, she also has Rebob, who will be traveling with you. By the way, I guess the first thing we'll establish next session would be if for the like little cleanup that you're gonna do of like paying back the witch and all that for next session, if you need Rebob with you or not.
Yeah, we still need to figure that part out. Like, we haven't really thought about it clearly.
no. So it might be good to have him with us just because. Not for any particular reason, though.
I think by the way, that's like the thing like Gregory is saddest about, that like Illona spilling the beans that Rebob can understand Rima, because that was like his one advantage over Ophelia.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Illona or Ashen really didn't like this point. I can't tell which.
Were you going to say something, Muninn? Deli?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. do you all have any other thoughts for our viewers before we go into our shoutouts?
Bone marrow is actually really good for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that came from, but sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. Let's see what these lovely people are up to. The dice say that we should go with Dely first and have them talk about themselves, what they're doing, etc., etc. Could you please go ahead, Dely?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Dely. I am a Goblin VTuber on Twitch, also on Twitter. So please feel free to find me on those two places. That's mainly where I am, anyway. I am thinking about streaming. Well, at the time of this episode, it would have been a week ago, but I'm thinking about streaming this week, last week. But that if I do that, that also means that I'll be more likely to stream in the following weeks. So yeah, please feel free to pop by and say hello. I stream variety, so yeah, it'd be cool to meet some of you.
Awesome. Do check Dely's streams out. I hope you announce them on Twitter ahead of time next time, if you do.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, do check Dely out. Thank you very, very, very much. Next, the dice say that we should ask Ashen what's up and what she's doing, what she's up to. Could you please go ahead, Ashen?
Yeah, what's up? You can find me on Instagram. I do some art stuff. Like D&D stuff, maybe a bit, portraits of stuff. You can commission me if you wanna. I'm available for that. And yeah.
Awesome. Do check Ashen out. Have commissioned her before, can recommend. I've actually recommended Ashen to friends of mine, but I don't know if they've asked you yet or not.
Oh, that's so sweet! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome! Thanks!
Thank you, Ashen. And speaking of people I've recommended to my friends, Show&Tell, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Yes. Hi. So I'm Show&Tell, and I am on Patreon right now. I'm doing reactions, if you're interested in that. And otherwise, I'm thinking about possibly opening a new channel on YouTube, but I've kind of been saying that for a while. But yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Do check Show&Tell out. If and when she does that, her updated links will be on display. But also do check out her Patreon. She is incredibly diligent with her content, and she's very, very insightful with her reactions. And do you still do your Etsy?
My Etsy, not so much. I mean, I don't think I have anything active right now on there.
Still do check it out. I would highly encourage the viewers to do so. Thank you very much, Show&Tell. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I was your dungeon master, game master Teeironor. I do this series. It's a lot of fun. I also do another series, comes out on Saturdays with a different group of lovely people. Lots of stuff is going on at the moment there, so do check that out as well. Other than that, once again, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. We should be back next week, but if not, I will let you all know on Twitter as usual if we can't make it. Either way, we will see you when we'll see you. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye!
Bye.